We're back, everybody, on a Thursday night as we talk about this big, bold plan for the east bank of the Cumberland River, right downtown, right there, including Nissan Stadium. Our guests tonight are David Rutledge and Nathanial Carter, working with Stand Up Nashville. Terrific group. All right, we want to talk about this input. Let me get to the phone calls first because I don't want them to hang up. William, thanks for your patience. You there?
Yes.
What's on your mind, sir? Just mute your TV for us if that's okay, and just talk over the phone. There's a delay and it'll get all confusing.
What do I do now?
Just mute your volume on your TV and just talk over the phone for us, please.
All right.
Go ahead.
Yes, I want to know what the city plans to do with Ben Sweat Boulevard in Nashville, in North Nashville at Mount Bethel Church that blew up in the tornado.
Which street was that?
Arthur Street.
Okay.
The church Mount Bethel. What's on the land there? All the land there.
That's in North Nashville, or what are you talking about? I'm trying to think of where that is exactly.
It's on 10th Avenue.
10th Avenue. Okay. And it was.
They named the street Ben Sweat Boulevard.
Yeah. Okay.
After my brother, I want to know what the city plans on doing on that property.
Have they? So you're telling me that was one of the buildings that the tornado hit, and is it now still standing?
Yeah, it's a historical building, Mount Bethel Church.
Right. Has it been torn down completely? What's the status on that? I'm sorry.
Yes, we're trying to build on the land, but
okay.
The city said they're making some type of offer. So I just want to know what the plans were.
Okay. You guys have any information on it?
My best suggestion for you, sir, would be to, I'm guessing that's probably in Councilman O'Connell's district, Freddie O'Connell. So, my advice would be to talk to Councilman O'Connell. I think he's a person who's got working class people's interests at heart and definitely wants to make sure our neighborhoods are preserved. And so I would recommend reaching out to him and seeing what he can do to help you. I'm sorry I don't have a better answer for you than that, though.
Yeah, good luck. And keep us posted. Go ahead, William. Sorry.
I had a codes problem over here at my home because my son and my grandson had to come, and I had clothes in the yard. And my mother had just died. She's 101. And my aunt died. She was 96.
Wow.
And my brother, the pastor, died, Ben Sweat. And they gave me an ultimatum to pay them $4,995. And they gonna take my pension check this coming Friday.
This was, you said Metro Codes?
No, this was Metro Government.
Mm-hmm. Overall? Mm-hmm. Huh.
Yes. And this is in the attorney's office.
Okay, I tell you what, William.
I'm wondering if they're trying to outprice me to make me have to sell.
Right.
Because they're trying to leave me being 71 years old with medical problems,
Yeah.
And
how
do they expect me to live?
William, may I ask, you're on a fixed income, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Do me a favor. I'm going to put you on hold to go to the next caller, and I'm going to ask our producer and director, Emila, to get your contact information, your full name, so that we can pass it along to these guys, and maybe we can find an answer, okay?
All right, thank you.
Put you on hold.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. All right, let's go to line 2 now. David, welcome to OpenLine.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well, sir. Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Oh, okay. My comment was, hello.
Oh, yeah. Turn your TV down, volume on your TV.
Okay,
I know it can get confused. Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if it's...
Okay, my comment is this, that, first of all, that it's nearly off. I can't hear you. Okay.
Just talk over the phone. You should be able... Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Okay, my comment is that there's going to be an answer to the question. Nashville is both homes and family, but it's also business as well. And I think there is a lack of intuitive leadership about solving the problem, because the people in the areas that are being squeezed out are on the social health programs, the welfares, or their fixed income, and many of the working class people there are there because right now they found the solution to their proximity to a job.
Right.
Now, the state has taken on the character of being very supportive of moneyed interest, and I think that is happening with the kind of a less attention to the effects on people. I think that the tax incentives we give the businesses coming in, but even they are in areas of Tennessee that people in these urban areas you're talking about don't have access to. So even if they had a choice to want to relocate, because it comes down to where they can live and work.
Right.
You know, the outskirts areas where the jobs are coming to. So if our leadership would look at it from a standpoint of needs-based, not profit-based for outside interest,
right,
which I think is being overdone to the extent the tax incentives and things that we're giving too much away. But the benefits to the locals, those companies outside in areas of Tennessee where those companies are coming in at, are bringing people from Michigan, from other states to actually work. So there's less than a desirable percentage of people locally really benefiting that as per compared to the incentive for them to be. I think if they create in some of those open new areas job opportunities, and maybe they can meet at the middle from a needs standpoint, in that people who need that may be able to afford to actually work and maybe afford some, and it would defray some of the higher costs of living. That might be in there instead of it being total real estate. You know, apartment relative to outside interest coming in with the kind of jobs and positions that they can afford. If you put something in some of that area that people that in that area can work at and make them, you might meet the need at the middle, at least an attempt for that, because the people live where they can work. The people can afford what they make, and if you don't address the jobs issue relative to the potential for those people to actually be able to live in an area, you won't. You know what I'm saying? There needs to be attention to meeting at the middle of that.
All right, let's go ahead and turn on your TV. We'll hang up on the call, and you can listen to the answers. Thanks again for calling in, guys. He covered a lot. I will say, trying to find that balance and that synergy that he's talking about, so that the benefits.
So
a spread so far. I mean, there's so many layers to it. It's having trained people in certain, so they're ready to be able to take certain jobs when you lure a big company here.
Absolutely. So that's where the community benefits agreement comes in at.
Right.
A lot of people in the city of Nashville don't know what a community benefits agreement.
Right?
So it actually hits on everything that Mr. David just called in and said. It brings job infrastructure to the people in the city. We actually trying to bring affordable housing to the people to the city. And these are amenities that the developers come in, they have to give back.
Right.
So we won't have to worry about this displacement as much. So higher paying jobs, union jobs.
Part of the deal.
Yes, sir.
Part of the deal. You want to come here and make some money, but here are our demands, please, that you also do XX, and all of that.
That's right.
I mean, with River Chase, tell me about the CBA. This was a news release you put out earlier or last month. I mean, it takes a team of people. I'm looking at the list here. So many. The Equity Alliance and the Equity Alliance. There's the Nashville Soccer Club has its branch involved with this. NOAA, unions, McFerrin Park Neighborhood Association. What have you done there with River Chase specifically?
Sure. So, the River Chase apartments are an affordable housing development that's actually right next door to where I live.
How many units do we know approximately?
I think about 200 units total currently. There's fewer residents living there now because they've already started displacing people. But I live in McFerrin Park. And it's directly adjacent to our neighborhood there, and basically they some developers out of Austin, Texas, bought the property and want to turn it into some luxury condo or luxury apartments. I think they want to build about 1,200 units, including a 10-story building, and so advocates with NOAA and Stand Up Nashville started reaching out to residents and to those developers a couple years ago, saying, we want to make sure that the people who are being displaced are able to move back, that they're provided for in the process of moving out, and that you commit to having a certain number of affordable units in the development for the long term. And also, getting back to Mr. David's point, and Mr. David, I appreciate your name, it's a good one. But we also want to make sure that the jobs that are created in the process of redeveloping this property are good jobs with a family supporting wage and benefits. And so those are the things that we've come to the table with that developer over. Unfortunately, it's been a more drawn out process than we hoped it would be. Right now they seem to be having a hard time accepting the fact that we don't want them to hire any contractors that have had workers die on the job in the last 5 years. To us, that's a relatively modest proposal. But these are things that we're working through, and we hope to be able to reach a successful agreement with them here in the next couple of weeks before their rezoning comes up before the council again. But it's our ability to affect their zoning process and our ability to represent the people that we stand for in this process that will make it a successful agreement.
You mentioned Councilmember Freddie O'Connell in that area. What other kind of input, support, opposition have you faced at that level within the city? And then we'll talk a little bit about the mayor's office and what he wants to do as well.
I would say that our council is a very good council right now. Obviously there's 40 of them. They're not all perfect, but our council member locally there in McFerrin Park is Council Member Sean Parker in District 5. He's been a real asset and ally through this process, and he's somebody that really does have the interests of working class people at heart. Generally speaking, our council wants to see the right thing done by residents. It's no longer a council that automatically does what the mayor asks them to. It's a council that doesn't automatically do what developers ask them to. It's a council right now that thinks about what's happening in our community and how the decisions that they make affect the residents that they represent, and we appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. 737 plus if you would like to call in as well. I think it is time. Yeah, it's time for another quick break. We'll be back with more right after this.